Hello dear students, welcome to Doctor's Academy. In this video, I will be discussing with you the preparation of books of account under single entry system. I am making this video based on the request from one of my students who is studying in Calicut University, who came to me for clarifying her doubts. So after that, she asked me to prepare the same thing as a video for the benefit of her friends and classmates. So this series of video will be based on the syllabus of Calicut University semester 2 accounting paper. What is single entry system of accounting? It is vaguely defined the method of maintaining accounts which does not exactly follow the principles of double entry system. Under double entry system, there a clear-cut rule is followed that for each transaction, there will be a debit aspect as well as a corresponding credit aspect, or these aspects are developed based on the double entry rule, that is asset is equal to equity. But under the single entry system, this dual aspect concept is ignored. So under single entry system, they are not particular about maintaining the debit and credit aspect and its equality. It doesn't mean that only one account is given, that is either debit or credit, but it is said to be incomplete since it does not satisfy the double entry system. Under this method, usually the personal account of the debtors and creditors are kept, and impersonal accounts such as real account and nominal accounts are not maintained under single entry system. The types of single entry system. We can broadly state that there are two types of single entry system. One is pure single entry and single entry in popular sense. The first one, pure single entry. Under this type, the dual aspect of each transaction is ignored. Only the personal accounts of debtors and creditors are maintained. All the real and nominal accounts are not maintained under pure single entry system. But in the second, single entry in the popular sense, this system goes beyond the maintenance of the personal account, but it falls short of complete system of double entry. That is why this system is otherwise known as incomplete system of maintaining books of account. I would say that the single entry system is otherwise known as incomplete system of maintaining books of account. If we look at the definition of single entry system, Kogler has defined a single entry as a system of bookkeeping in which, as a rule, only records of cash and personal accounts are maintained. It is always incomplete double entry, varying with the circumstances. Therefore, we can say single entry in the popular sense may consist of a double entry for certain transactions, such as cash received from debtors or cash paid to creditors. They are maintaining double entry system for certain transactions. For example, cash book they are maintaining, debtors account they are maintaining, creditors account they are maintaining. But it is incomplete in the sense that according to their need, according to their circumstances, according to their nature of business, they will be maintaining the relevant books of account as per their need. And it is not complete, it is not end to end as per the double entry rule. And they are maintaining single entry in respect of certain transactions, such as purchase of fixed asset, payments of expenses, etc. And also no entry in respect of some transactions such as bad debts, depreciation, loss of stock by fire, etc. So we can say that it is a system of accounting which does not have the completeness of accounting, and they maintain their books of account according to their need, and they are using the flexibility according to their circumstances and according to their needs. Now let us see the difference between single entry and double entry system. If you look at double entry system, as we studied in the previous videos, it's a complete system of records maintenance. It keeps the books of account in the form of completeness. But in single entry, it is said to be the incomplete records. In double entry system, personal account, real account and the nominal accounts are prepared. But in single entry system, only personal accounts are prepared. The double entry system is complete in records so that we can say it is reliable. We can trust on the results from the double entry system. But in the case of the single entry system, since it is not complete, so we may not be able to say that it is completely reliable. Another point is trial balance can be prepared under double entry system, and we can check the arithmetical accuracy of the books of account that we have maintained. But under single entry system, the arithmetical accuracy cannot be measured since we cannot prepare a trial balance. In double entry system, we can easily prepare trading profit and loss account and balance sheet for knowing the profitability and the financial position of the business. But under single entry system, the profitability may be known, but we cannot prepare the trading profit and loss account and the balance sheet. And whatever books of account that we are preparing and whatever results that we are getting may not be 100% reliable since it is an incomplete system of accounts. So these are the major difference between double entry system and single entry system. Now let us see the defects of single entry system. As we discussed so far, the single entry system is not a scientific system of maintaining the books of account. And under single entry system, no trial balance can be prepared because the trial balance is the outcome of books of account. It will show the arithmetical accuracy. Both the columns of the trial balance, debit as well as credit, would be equal only when if all the books of accounts are properly, correctly maintained. Since under single entry system, no all the books of account maintained, since it is an incomplete system, we cannot arrive the arithmetical accuracy through the preparation of the trial balance. Here in single entry system, in the absence of nominal account, trading profit and loss account cannot be prepared and the real exact profit may not be arrived. Next, under single entry system, internal check is not possible because no proper maintenance of the books of account or the books of account which are maintained are incomplete. Therefore, there is the possibility of fraud and mistake and which cannot be detected easily. Next point is it will not inspire the confidence of outsiders. For example, the investors, potential investors, they may not be happy with the maintenance of the books of account since it is not a reliable method of maintaining books of account. So that their confidence cannot be attained. So the possibility of investing with our organization if we are maintaining the single entry system may not inspire them to invest with. Next point, it is difficult to ascertain the value of the business. See here, under this method, they are not maintaining a proper books of account. Without maintaining the books of account properly, how it is possible to find out the value of the business? And finally, joint stock companies cannot follow this system because it is not legally permitted. A joint stock company can only maintain the books of account under double entry system. They are not permitted to adopt single entry system or incomplete system of maintaining books of account. In spite of all the above defects, single entry methods of maintaining books of account is quite popular with small types of firms, those who could not afford to spend money on an elaborate system of maintaining the books of account under double entry system. So these small type of business entities are maintaining single entry system, those who could not afford the expensive type of maintaining double entry system. So it is in popular, even it is an incomplete system. Now the question is how we can find out, how we can arrive the profit under single entry system. Dear friends, in the absence of the real account, we cannot prepare balance sheet to know the financial position. Therefore, to judge the financial position under this system, that is under single entry, a statement of affairs is prepared. Then what is statement of affairs? It shows the financial position as well as it helps to find out the capital at the beginning and the capital at the end, which will help the businessman to arrive the profitability of the business. This may not be accurate, but the businessman would be able to know the approximate profit of his business by preparing the statement of affairs. Therefore, we can say that under single entry system, the profitability of the business is calculated based on the difference between capital at the beginning and the capital at the end. For our simple understanding, we can say that the businessman, those who are maintaining their books of account under single entry system, would be able to arrive the profitability of their business through preparation of the statement of affairs, or simply we can say that it will be the difference between capital at the end and capital at the beginning. So now let us discuss what are the points to be considered while preparing the statement of affairs. See, my dear friends, the statement of affairs is not a balance sheet, but it is just like a balance sheet. Whatever information available in the books of account, with that, the businessman preparing a statement in the form of a balance sheet said to be statement of affairs. Now let us see what are the points to be considered while preparing the same. Point 1. The cash book should be prepared and balanced, and cash in hand should be verified with the balance as shown by the cash book. So first thing, we have to prepare a cash book and it should be verified, cross-verified with the cash balance. Second, the bank balance as shown by the cash book should be reconciled with the balance as per the passbook. Next, the list of debtors and the creditors should be prepared from the personal accounts maintained in the ledger. With this, the businessman can understand credit sales, credit purchase, receipt from debtors, payment to creditors, all that would be known. Then, values of fixed assets should be ascertained from vouchers or any other source of information as may be available, and depreciation, if any, on fixed asset should be provided. So cash account should be prepared, bank balance should be verified, debtors account, creditors account and other personal accounts has to be prepared. Assets should be verified based on the vouchers, depreciation to be provided, all outstanding expenses and income should be considered and shown in the statement of affairs. Similarly, expenses paid in advance and income received in advance should also be provided and shown in the statement of affairs. And finally, excess of assets over liabilities should be taken as capital of the proprietor on the date when the statement of affairs is prepared. So by doing all these exercise, we would be able to find out the capital at the beginning and the capital at the end. As I told you, the profit of the business is equal to the difference between capital at the beginning and the capital at the end. Now, the methods of ascertainment of profits under single entry system. See, dear friends, there are two systems of arriving profit under single entry system. They are statement of affairs method or net worth method, and the second one is conversion method. We will be discussing the methods of ascertainment of profits under single entry in the next videos. If this video is useful, kindly share it with your friends and others in your contact. If you have any suggestion or requirement, kindly leave it in the comment box. If you are watching my channel for the first time, please subscribe. Thank you very much for watching Doctor's Academy.